Tennessee team is going in against an Ohio State team that is still reeling after what happened on the final Saturday of the regular season. A huge underdog, some catastrophic turnovers against the Wolverines, who really didn't do much on offense, but they took advantage of that interception thrown by Will Howard in his own end. And then even when Ohio State got even, they gave up a running play late, and Michigan went into Columbus, won 13-10, the whole flag planting controversy, and it really set off a pall in Columbus. You know, it seems preposterous to question the future of a coach who's 66-10. He's been to the playoff 4 times in his 6 seasons, won 2 Big Ten championships. But those 4 straight losses now to Michigan, in all honesty, that last one you just saw is really the only bad one of the bunch. But it's created a lot of discontent in Columbus. And if it is indeed a fact that Ryan Day is approaching a crossroads in his Ohio State career, and it's all dependent on how the playoff goes for the Buckeyes and how it starts against Tennessee, well, then there's only one certain path to redemption, and that's winning the national championship. I went to Columbus earlier this week and sat down with the Buckeye boss.
Even if we win it all this year, it'll be tarnished. You can't lose that game.
I don't think Ryan Day understands the rivalry between Ohio State and Michigan.
Right now, what we need to do is I think we need to fire Ryan Day.
In this 12-team playoff era, how does that change the importance, the focus, the relevance of Michigan?
I don't think it'll ever change the game, but, you know, when you look back on it, which, you know, we're not going to do right now, we're going to look forward at this game. We're looking at the playoffs and where that goes. Ultimately, the goal is to make the playoffs and win the national championship. That being said, you know, nothing's going to change about the game.
Leading up to the Michigan game, you described what it was like to lose, and you compared it to one of the great tragedies in your life, losing your father and some other things. What led you to say that?
Well, I think when you're the head coach at Ohio State, it's a great honor, just like our players. And we want to win so much to make sure that, you know, we're doing right by these players, the fans, everybody that loves so much about Ohio State. So, yeah, we pour into this thing, like with everything that we have. And so, you know, when you don't succeed in some of those games, yeah, you know, you feel it and it's real.
What have the last 2 weeks been like for you?
First off, you know, it's always an evaluation to figure out, you know, what are the things that you learn and you grow from. And, you know, we always use a loss as motivation moving forward, always. But quickly you have to transition.
You made the playoff, got the home game. How would you characterize the accomplishments of this team?
Well, you know, when you look at, again, this season, you know, 3 top 5 teams, and we get 2 top 5 wins, 10 wins. Lost 2 games by 4 points.
Will Howard took off running, and that killed the game. And Oregon, in a back-and-forth game, wins it 32-31.
And so you look at the body of the work of the season, and, you know, we're in the playoffs. And that's the way we look at it. And so our guys have been resilient in that area. They've continued to be resilient.
From 50 for the win. No good. He hooked it. And Georgia is going to survive.
Think back a couple of years ago, with even just a smidgen of luck, probably win the national championship. How has that impacted your mindset and approach to going into this playoff?
You know, I think for some of the guys in the room who went through that experience, they realize, you know, that sometimes you can be really, really close to something and not realize it. And I think our guys, you know, can use that as an experience and a way to explain to some of the other guys on the team, like, even though, you know, the season didn't end the way we wanted to, we still are in the playoffs.
How do you describe what's at stake for this team, this program Saturday night?
This is a wonderful opportunity for our guys to play the first ever home game in Ohio Stadium, which is going to be a great atmosphere. And, you know, for us to, you know, chase down our goal of winning a national championship. You know, we're 4 games away from that happening.